Good people, InWin is celebrating 40 years today. They started in 1985, and you know, they're trying to showcase trophy cases and these really bizarre designs that eventually kind of trickle down into their lower tiers in terms of certain elements, obviously not. So this is the Chronomancy, celebrating their 40 years. That's this beautiful boba teacup design, especially when we take out the little antenna over here that looks like a straw. Gorgeous. Let me just take a sip. What are you doing to me? We have this massive acrylic piece over here with some design elements. This is their first building. This is their first gaming case, which by the way, looks like every other case on the planet right now if you consider tempered glass. This is their first curved enclosure. This was their first case designed by a female designer, and some other elements in here that kind of retrace some of their history. And this is a really just a good reminder of like where they've been to where they are now. They have stainless steel frame inside. We have this curved aluminum door, basically. Some I/O at the front. Let's talk about the I/O for a second. No, I'm kidding. The wand, this case comes with a wand, okay? Now this is a flex. I don't want to drop it. I was gonna do one of these, but it is back heavy, so I can't really, I should stop. So the idea is to give you a little bit of a different experience when it comes to interacting with something like this. So we have a button. We are gonna light up in blue. And when it goes purple or pink, you're able to use the wand to actually open the enclosure. So let's try this live on camera. Yes, the first time it works. So basically this reveals your kind of guts and the hardware that is inside. A little bit of a fun element to interact with the enclosure. Obviously, we're not going to talk about the specs because they don't really matter. It's cool that we have this massive gear at the bottom that is very smooth and opens everything. And we can even do the same thing for the other panel. Let me try that. Huh. Oh yeah, it's opening. Is it? Yes. So of course you can interact with the panels yourself, but the wand is there for that cool factor where the power supply is located. Obviously, this is going to be a very limited edition. Based on their previous trophy cases, they're probably going to make around 50 of them. And the gears are actually at the bottom, are trying to symbolize the gears of the changing of the times from where they started back then to where they're now. Eventually, I'm hoping to see this type of element where something is curved and you can open it and close it, maybe on a towering ITX enclosure that is similar shaped. I hope to see that sometime in the future. Let us know what you think of the Chronomancy. Chronomancy. I said it right. Normally we don't cover workstation enclosures, but InWin is showcasing their DS workstation enclosure that I'm personally loving. We're seeing so many comments about, hey, where's my 5.25" drive? Boom, it's right there. Easy accessible I/O. And on the inside, we don't have anything power coded. It's just like the traditional industrial layout. Proper GPU support for our graphics card. You can still do a triple 360 at the top. And once this thing is turned on, you close the side panel and then boom, you have an awesome gaming machine that is all function and some plate, depending on how many RGB things you install. Price-wise, looking at 20 to 30% cheaper than the traditional mid-tower and the gaming side. And I hope to see more of this functional design get into the gaming space that is just getting overly flashy these days, you know? So this is their new covalent enclosure that spans both the gaming side with a TG and desktop workstation with a fully mesh side panel that looks awesome from the front. We have a really mean looking handle over here. But still, depending on what you install on the inside, it could work both ways, you know? Now, on the gaming side, InWin is showcasing the Shift. We saw it at CES, but it's now finalized. We're still not revealing any pricing details until the tariffs stabilize until Q3. But this thing is cool because it's both an open test bench and this kind of like your standard ATX configuration that is still open. So it's both a test bench when you lay it flat, or it's this open style enclosure. So let me lay it flat and let's talk about some of the really interesting features. So first of all, it's aluminum CNC, really solid construction, really unique feet that allow that dual configuration. We have a little clamp system that is on a pressure, so I can release it and I have full modularity of where I want to position these fans. So I can relocate this whole thing here because of these screws and let's say give our GPU additional airflow. How do I lock it now? The screws got loose, so I don't know if I can lock it, no? Oh, look, the other way. Okay. It's a good thing Andy's here because I don't know how to operate this thing. So that's locked in place, and now we have an open test bed for different benchmarking, etc. Obviously, our feet have little rubberized bits on both ends to prevent any glass breaking. And we also have this dial over here on just one of the feet that allows you to level the entire thing properly. You see, it's not Wiew, it's Wiew. My mouth looks weird when I say it, okay? Wiew. You say it. No, you say it. Say it. Say it to the microphone.
No, I'm
say it in the microphone.
No.
Just to say
Wiew. Wiew.
The cool thing about this one is that the Wiew has both design and function. As you can see, there's our W, and this side panel has a bit of an extension outwards, which means we have really good CPU tower heatsink support up to 175 millimeters, and also any 12-volt high power cable that is close to the glass panel is going to be properly bent because the side panel has a little bit of that exterior extension and it's not exactly flat. Wiew. We have these handles over here so you can showcase your might, and on this rear panel, tempered glass, mirrored tempered glass, glass tempered glass. On this side, we have mirrored tempered glass and a dust filter that is also removable easily, so you can access your fans and stuff, but of course this whole thing is removable to access all your and removing this side panel just to access your power supply, and everything is kind of pretty standard on the back side here. I think this case design really benefits from having no RGB on the inside, just because the glass panel and how cool it is and how reflective might be the showcase element. But of course, on the interior, we have triple 120s on the side, dual 120s on the power supply shroud, 360 at the top. So kind of your standard configuration with a little cutout for the power supply to reveal. And yeah, this is the Wiew. Then we have this elegant beauty. This is the D-Lite. Gorgeous finishes with the aluminum. We have this really interesting wavy pattern on the front ventilation that has like the larger waves that get thinner by the center. Looks absolutely gorgeous. And of course, I would say running RGB in here would not be suitable just because of how elegant everything is. And this is kind of like a sage color. It leans towards the green. It's not exactly neutral silver or black. And I think I like it. I personally like this experimentation on the exterior because it's a little bit more earthy and warm. But let me know what you think. Of course, the glass panel is very dark, so any components you put inside are going to be hidden. They're still slightly visible, but this is a really beautiful enclosure. One functional design over here is that we have 140 millimeter fan support for the rear exhaust, which means tall CPU heat sinks and really tall GPUs are going to be perfectly fine in here. Finally, we saw the Prism launch already, but they're now launching the white edition, which I think looks really cool with this, again, layered glass element that InWin is doing fantastically well, with a little extension on the front with the glass that has a full mesh anyway. So we have both the visuals and the functionality behind airflow. And that is the Prism with a little handle on the back too. So that is InWin at Computex. Let us know what was your favorite enclosure. I'm Dmitry. I'll talk to you in the next video.